Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Right now at 6, a former educator learns his fate. How long he'll stay behind bars for sexual assaults dating back to the 80s.
Tomorrow is the first day of recreational pot sales in the state of Connecticut. But where is all that weed coming from? We'll take you on a tour of the state's largest production facility. That's coming up.
And are police prepared to deal with drivers getting behind the wheel while high?
One of the biggest things that we really want the public to understand is even though it's legal, it's still illegal to operate under the influence.
How officers are working to keep the roads safe.
Plus, live streaming 911 calls.
And if they wanted to start recording, all they have to do is hit the blue button there. Oh, so here's your camera access. And now we're live.
New technology preparing officers to better help and respond to residents requesting aid. The Fox 61 News at 6 starts right now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the News at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. From seed to sale, beginning tomorrow, adults 21 and over can buy pot here in Connecticut.
But where's all that marijuana coming from? One production facility's been gearing up for this moment for a decade.
Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez is in Rocky Hill, inside of the state's largest grow facility, with a look.
Products from right here will be at all of the recreational sites opening tomorrow. Now, they used to make pharmaceuticals in this building. Now it's the state's largest marijuana production facility. Before you stand in line at a retail shop on Tuesday and leave with cherry punch or minty haze, those products must be grown, harvested, and prepared for sale. Much of that production happens here in Rocky Hill, inside CT Pharma's 217,000 square foot production facility.
It's been a decade.
A long time coming for the cultivation and processing experts who joined the state's medical marijuana program back in 2013. Last year, CT Pharma merged with parent company Verano, which operates in 13 legalized states and owns 2 Connecticut-based retail shops, including Zen Leaf in Meriden, opening for recreational sales on Tuesday.
It's the end of prohibition almost for, I think, the entire Northeast.
It all starts in this room, where cuttings from a mother plant take about 3 weeks to grow roots, then 8 weeks in rooms where plants mature. Lighting, humidity, air, all controlled.
We've got chemists, we've got a laboratory, we've got chefs, we run a kitchen. We have cultivation experts, they cultivate and grow the plant. We have pest experts, we have environmental experts.
4 months later, the harvest. The Department of Consumer Protection has strict rules for packaging, so you won't see labels like this, which can only be used for medical marijuana. The labeling on recreational products is very plain and is intended to discourage children from reaching for it.
We're not allowed to offer products that exceed certain potencies. Different products such as tablets cannot be sold in the adult use market, but they can be sold in the medical. Gummies can be sold in the adult use market, but not in the medical market.
Gearing up for this moment, CT Pharma expanded this facility and made investments in automation. They believe gummies will be a big hit.
The process is very quick. It's a very quick cook time. And then these sit in the sugar, covered overnight. Next morning they get sifted out, and then they go through a counting machine into our bottles.
Recreational sales will be limited to 1/4 of an ounce per transaction. Now, to buy an 1/8, those jars that you just saw in our story, that'll cost you about $45 or $55. In Rocky Hill, Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61 News.
Samaya, thank you very much. And Connecticut's first recreational cannabis retail shops are going to open tomorrow morning. But experts say it's possible that not everyone will be able to find what they're looking for tomorrow specifically. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane has more on what you are looking to know.
Tomorrow could be a little chaotic. Officials say there could be long lines for the first day of recreational cannabis sales in the state. Now, there are only 9 locations ready to sell tomorrow, including here at Affinity in New Haven. And because there's only a handful, customers may find that stock has run out. Dispensaries tell us they were only given a 30-day notice by the state on when they can open their doors to recreational sales. And because of that, there will be limited supply available. Many dispensaries also say they'll have limited menus for tomorrow's opening day. Now, what's expected tomorrow in the Elm City? Well, there will be an increased police presence around Affinity in New Haven in response to the extra traffic that's anticipated. Affinity isn't getting their product in until later tonight, so they're unsure what their stock will look like. Mayor Justin Elliker and city leaders joining together today to remind the Elm City that retail sales are a big change for the state that needs to be handled responsibly, especially keeping marijuana away from children.
And we have already seen probably 3 or 4 incidents in the last year or so in our New Haven public schools of students getting access to cannabis, bringing it to school, sharing it with multiple friends, and people getting really sick and being transported to the hospital.
If you're heading out in line tomorrow, customers need to show an ID proving you're at least 21 years old, so a license or a passport. Stores will only accept cash or debit cards. And as for what you can purchase, recreational customers can only buy 1/4 of an ounce of cannabis per transaction. That's less than medical customers who can purchase 5 ounces a month. These are the only 9 stores in the state doing recreational sales tomorrow. People who need medical marijuana are urged to buy it ahead of the long lines expected, especially with supply concerns. Tomorrow is the earliest date for recreational sales, but there are more stores that are expected to open as the year goes on. And lines are expected to form tomorrow as early as 10 o'clock in the morning. In New Haven, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61 News.
A big day tomorrow, that's for sure. All right, the sun finally came outside today after some rain and showers in some parts of the state this morning.
Felt good this afternoon. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Hi, Rach.
Hi, yeah, above average again today. It's hard to even remember that this is above average because we've been so spoiled lately. 36 in Hartford, right around the 40-degree mark for the Connecticut shoreline. But this was falling across at least parts of the state early this morning. This was 4 o'clock in the morning from Joey and Tolland. A little bit of snow even coating things up on the ground, but the next storm on the way is going to bring us rain centered around the day Friday. Taking a look right now, the satellite and radar is quiet. You can see this morning's little disturbance departing. Low temperatures tonight dropping back into the 20s to right around 30 degrees as we head towards daybreak. And we're looking at a really nice day again with high temperatures climbing into the low 40s, partly cloudy skies, again above average temperatures, and a quiet evening tomorrow night. But as we head through the forecast, again, we are going to herald the arrival of another storm system. Temperatures on Friday are going to be in the 50s, so clearly we're getting mostly rain with the next storm on the way, but at least the good news is no damaging winds this time around. We'll take another full look at your forecast coming up.
Okay, Rachel, thank you. Well, you can call it justice delayed but not denied. It's been 38 years since his crimes, but today a judge handed 72-year-old Michael Sharp a sentence that will likely result in him living out the rest of his natural life in prison.
It was a highly emotional day of sentencing. Fox 61's Matt Caron brings us inside the courtroom. He joins us live in Hartford with the story. Matt.
Yeah, Michael Sharp was sentenced to 72 years behind bars. He's the former head of a Connecticut charter school organization who was found guilty of raping 4 women, including Linda of Bloomfield, Roseanne of Middletown, and Kathleen and Shelley, both from Windsor. And although we were not allowed to record their statements in court, they wanted us to use their first names because they want people to know that they are survivors, not victims. After hearing the survivors, in their own words, speak of how Sharp's heinous crimes debilitated their lives, Michael Sharp himself spoke, turning toward the women who refused to make eye contact.
I don't know what happened. I don't know. Don't know, but I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Sharp is accused of terrorizing the 4 women 38 years ago, 1984, breaking into their homes, creeping up to their bedsides, showing a firearm, and raping them in the middle of the night. He wasn't identified as a suspect until 2003 and wasn't arrested until 2020, when new DNA evidence was used to analyze swabs from his garbage linking him to the rapes.
If I was, and I was because the jury said so, this person, this monster, I hope he's dead inside that 2 months of my life.
The state's attorney argued that Sharp should feel the full weight of justice, despite not being able to be charged with sexual assault due to the statute of limitations.
The impact a crime like this has not only on the victim, but cascading down through relationships those victims have the rest of their lives.
Meanwhile, Sharp's attorney did her best to reduce his sentence.
The number of years of productive life I ask Your Honor to take all of that into consideration.
The judge delivered his verdict, a 72-year sentence, equating Mr. Sharp to a predator.
You fit that definition. A person who ruthlessly exploits others.
Now, Sharp's sentencing follows his 5-day trial, which took place back in October when more than 100 pieces of evidence were presented and 22 witnesses were called to the stand. It took a jury just a half an hour to come back and deliver that guilty verdict. Now, also while in court today, members of Sharp's family, including his daughter, also got up to support him, delivering some more emotional words, saying that her father is a kind and honest man and not a monster. We're live here outside Hartford Superior Court. Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
All right, Matt, thank you. New details tonight. Police looking for a driver they say left the scene of a crash that sent a tractor trailer off an embankment on I-91 northbound in Enfield. It all happened near exit 47E. Police say that a car was trying to merge into the center lane when it hit another car, sending the tractor trailer right off the road. Police say the driver tried to merge, left the scene. That driver tried to merge, then he left the scene. Driver of the tractor trailer was taken to the hospital. No word on the extent of their injuries.
Well, Guilford police are warning residents and businesses about a phone scam that's going around. The scammers are calling residents using a spoof number that appears to be the police department's number. The caller reportedly has a southern accent and identifies himself as Sergeant Roberts. Police say there is not a Sergeant Roberts at the department. The caller then tries to get information and money from the victims. Guilford police reminding residents they will never call you to solicit money or to try to get your personal information.
New at 6 o'clock, the candidates are stepping up after Hartford Mayor Luke Bronin announced he will not be running for a third term in office. State Senator John Fonfara announcing that he's running for Hartford Mayor after 36 years in legislature. Fonfara is a Democrat representing Hartford and Wethersfield, and he says he's committed to serving the people of the capital city after having represented them in both the state House and Senate for decades.
I can't ask a single soul of Hartford to support me either in working for my campaign or voting for me if I'm not willing to put my walking shoes back on and go back out and meet the voters of Hartford, whether I represent them now and they've seen me before at their door, or they know of the work I've done, or those of Hartford and other parts of the city that I don't currently represent.
Others have thrown their hat in the ring as well, including former state senator and Superior Court Judge Eric Coleman. Still ahead.